Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mike D. The show is The Lone Roll, and I review solo and GM-less tabletop role-playing games. So today we're going to take a look at Four Against Darkness. It's a popular dungeon crawling fantasy game that's perfect for solo play. I'm going to give you a general overview of the rules, walk you through some character creation, and then kind of give my honest take on the core book. That's the only one we're looking at today. If you know anything about Four Against Darkness, then you know that it has a massive amount of supplements. First up, though, what exactly is it? It's a pen and paper dungeon crawl game designed for solo play. You can play it with a small group. I think most people play it solo, but you can do that. It's really portable, minimal setup. All you need is the core book, some dice, and a pencil. The game does focus on exploring procedurally generated dungeons, fighting monsters, gathering loot, leveling up heroes, your general dungeon crawling RPG type stuff. The rules are straightforward. They rely primarily on 2d6 rolls, and the mechanics are focused on exploration, combat, and treasure collection. As you're mapping out the dungeon, you're going to roll dice to determine what rooms you encounter, what's inside those rooms, what obstacles await around the next corner. You can encounter traps, puzzles, friendly or non friendly NPCs. Combat, you're going to roll your attack, subtract the monster's defense, compare the result. Most monsters only have a few hit points. Battles are typically short, but they can still be lethal if you're not careful, especially starting out. The simplicity does mean that the battles don't drag on, though, so it does keep it kind of moving. The character creation in Four Against Darkness is one of my favorite things, and it's one of its strong suits, in my opinion. It gives you a lot of customization despite the game's simplicity. You control four adventurers chosen from classic fantasy archetypes like warriors, rogues, wizards, and clerics. The game's design encourages flexibility, letting you mix classes to suit your style. Each character has basic stats. You've got your attack, defense, life points. You can also assign different skills and equipment, and that does play a big role in kind of planning out your party's effectiveness. Since Four Against Darkness does use a level up system, your characters can grow stronger as they delve deeper into the dungeons. However, death is permanent, so you kind of need to balance risk and reward. Need to have some characters on standby to replace fallen ones. One key point to mention is that character creation is very quick, though. So, if, like I said, if you do lose a hero during a dungeon, you can have a new character ready to go in minutes and kind of keep the game moving. The heart, I think, of Four Against Darkness is the dungeon crawling. You draw your dungeon map as you go, rolling on tables to determine, as I said before, what lies behind each door. So there's a real mix of randomness, but also some strategic choices that kind of create a new experience every time. It's also where most of the tension lies in the game. You know, each roll could bring treasure or it could bring something that's going to kill you. So there's that. There's also a little bit of variety in what you can encounter, like traps, locked doors, hidden passages, even bosses appear randomly as you explore. So you kind of need to manage your resources carefully, decide when to press on, when to retreat, that sort of thing. The core book itself is very compact. It's very digestible read as well. I think it's around 95 pages, and it does have everything you need to play the game. The artwork is intentionally simple, it's hand drawn, and they give the game kind of an old school RPG feel. The layout's functional, but don't really expect flashy designs. It's a game focused on gameplay over aesthetics. That said, though, everything is clear and easy to reference. Now, let's talk about what I think works well and what could be improved. The game's greatest strength is its replayability. I mean, every time you play, there's going to inevitably be something different. The dungeons are randomized, and then combine that with quick gameplay, and it does make it easy to pick up, dive into a new adventure kind of whenever you want. The simple mechanics also make it accessible for both beginners and seasoned veterans in RPGs, looking for, something light, a little bit quicker than what they normally do. On the downside, though, the game's simplicity might not appeal to everybody. If you're looking for something really deep and complex, you're not going to find that here. The lack of a deep narrative or role playing element can make the game feel somewhat repetitive after extended play. But again, that randomness does keep that somewhat fresh. While the art is hand drawn and charming, it can, for some people, feel a little too basic. I've heard some people kind of begrudgingly comment on that. But the artwork's not really its sole purpose. So what can you say about Four Against Darkness? It's ideal for solo players who want something quick to kind of fix their dungeon crawling itch. It's perfect if you like mapping out dungeons, rolling dice a lot, getting into short, punchy adventures, consulting tables. On the other hand, though, if you're looking for something with a heavy narrative element or complex character progression, then this game's not going to really scratch that itch, though. To wrap things up, Four Against Darkness is a simple yet engaging game that fills a niche for quick solo friendly dungeon crawls. It does deliver on what it promises, which is a great way to satisfy an old school RPG fantasy crawl craving, and typically under an hour. What it sets out to do, it really does. While it's not the deepest experience out there, it's certainly a lot of fun for solo gamers who really like that classic dungeon delving experience. For me, if I had to rate it on a 1 to 10, and I don't compare this to like regular tabletop like D&D, things like that, because they're in a different class. So for me, I would rate on a 1 to 10 scale with solo games, probably put Four Against Darkness somewhere around a 6 or a 7. It's a really fun play. Again, I didn't even touch on the countless supplement books that they have to go with it. And it varies. There are supplements out there for beginner levels. There are supplements out there for levels 3 to 5 and beyond. A lot of these supplement books are like campaigns all in its own little neat package. Some of them are open ended. It's just a lot to choose from. There are books that give you different classes you can choose. Some of the books, while it may be a campaign, may introduce new classes or new techniques or new skills, things that you can kind of mix and match. So it can get a little confusing at times. But once you kind of get the hang of it and you kind of get the flow down, and you can pick it up and knock a dungeon out in an hour or less and kind of move on with your day, it is a really, really satisfying gaming experience. So that's all I've got for you. Again, this is Mike D. This channel is The Lone Roll. Going to have lots of new videos coming out. I'm going to be doing more on Four Against Darkness. It is a very popular game, as many of you probably know, but there are a lot of people who either haven't heard about it or have heard about it and just have not played it yet. So I'm going to keep adding to that, and that's going to become its own series. I do have some reviews that I'm coming out with very soon from Alex T and Black Oath Entertainment. Alex T does Rift Breakers, Across a Thousand Dead Worlds, Nathalis, which is a very popular game right now, and I'm going to be doing a review on that also. So I'm going to be doing. Alex sent some books over for me to take a look at, and as always, that doesn't affect what I'm going to be doing in my review. It's going to be a very honest and unbiased review, but I do like Alex's games a lot, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then going to be touching on a lot of other things. Going to be talking about new and upcoming Kickstarters and backer kit, crowdfunding campaigns for different games that I like, as well as top 10 lists and other playthroughs, etc. So stay tuned. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and check back often. Talk to you later.